Hey guys, we'll go ahead and start in a couple minutes here. Couple more minutes before we get started. Go ahead and grab a yoga mat or something you'd like to lay down on. If you're on a harder surface, get some water, get some tea, get your animals. Those of you who don't know, this is Penny. Oh, and there's Marty. So, couple more minutes and we'll get stretching. Marty. What are you doing? All right. Well, I hope everyone's having a really good evening, or if you're not watching this live, yeah. So happy Thursday. Hope you're all doing well. You're for the Lieber household. At Marty. Hopefully he's better this time around than he was on Tuesday. So we'll see how this goes. Just another minute here. Like I said, if you're on a harder surface, maybe you want to grab something a bit softer to lay down on, whatever's going to make you most comfortable and feel best for your practice. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started as we usually do with our breathing. So laying down on your back in any comfortable position. Maybe a couple options are always keeping the feet planted, stretching them out, or laying in a reclined butterfly. Whatever you're feeling today. All right, so let's go ahead, lay back. And we'll just start with 3 breaths. Breathing through the nose and out through the mouth. And we begin in through the nose and out through the mouth. Again, in through the nose And out through the mouth. Last time, in through the nose. And out through the mouth. And now just taking a nice body scan from head to toe. Really relaxing and releasing into the floor. You go any tension that you've been holding throughout your day. Taking nice, even breaths. Your exhales being the same length as your inhales. Focusing in on the rising and falling of your chest. And let's take 3 more breaths together. We begin breathing in through the nose. And out through the mouth. Again, in through the nose. And out through the mouth. Last time, in through the nose. And out through the mouth. And gently coming onto your side and up to a comfortable seat. And we'll just go ahead and take a nice neck stretch. So let's take our right arm out to the side. Wrap our left behind our back and interlace our fingers together on the side of our hip, like that. So sitting nice and tall on top of your sits bones. We're gonna reach through the crown of the head and drop that ear down towards the floor. You feel a nice, deep stretch through the side of your neck here. Make sure we're being mindful of the opposite shoulder. It's not coming up towards the ear, but it's staying nice and relaxed and even. And if you like, you can take some small movements here, moving side to side, up and down. And incorporating some moments of stillness. Again. A couple more breaths here. And release your hands, pushing your head back to an upright position. Couple motions side to side. Now notice if you feel a difference in the length here, yeah? Sometimes the side of your stretch goes a bit longer than the opposing side. All right, so let's go other side. Right hand comes behind the back, fingers interlace, like so. Sitting onto those sits bones, nice and high, reaching the crown of the head up and falling over towards those hands. Taking some gentle movements here, again being mindful of our shoulders. Just trying to find the deepest stretch that you can. Sometimes it's towards the front of the neck, and sometimes it's more in the back, wherever you're at for the day. Couple more breaths here. And releasing those hands, pushing the head back up to the center and moving side to side. Good. Now let's move into a nice tabletop position. I'll go sideways so that you guys can see me. Dog right there. All right, so let's move through our cat-cows, yeah? So we have our chest and our pelvis reaching up, and then curving that back, moving to the cat position. On your own timing, just moving through these cat-cows, get it, moving. I know, hilarious. And remember, try to sync up the breath with that movement. Filling the belly with air here. And exhaling the back contraction. And if you'd like me to take a couple lateral C curves here with the head and pelvis. So your torso stays on the same plane, it just curves side to side to get a stretch through that rib cage and low back. Good. And if you feel like it, go ahead and take a few circles here. Really getting into all the nooks and crannies in that rib cage and low back. Maybe even into those hips. And make sure you go both ways. Staying nice and even. Good. And turning back to tabletop, I'm going to come this way so you guys can see this part. So we're going to go ahead and thread the needle. So reaching that right arm up towards the ceiling, we're going to go ahead and tuck it under that supporting arm in the torso to get a nice stretch through the back and shoulder. And really make sure you're sending energy out through those fingertips to deepen the twist in the back. With every exhale, releasing a little bit deeper into the floor. And go ahead, roll up through the spine, reach towards the ceiling, and place the hand back down. Other side, reaching up, and tucking under, settling in. And just something to keep in mind, while we say these stretches for a long time, they're not supposed to be static. They're always dynamic, yeah? Because we're always moving and sending energy out through our body, yeah? So right now I'm sending energy out through these fingertips and back through my shoulder to create a nice oppositional pull that gives me a deeper stretch through my back and my shoulder. Like I said, with every breath, we have the opportunity to deepen this stretch and release a little further into the floor. And go ahead and rolling up the spine, reaching for the ceiling, and replacing our hands. Now let's go again one more time, reaching up with the right hand, threading under. Now if you'd like a deeper stretch this time, go ahead lift up that supporting arm, tuck it behind your low back, and reach for the opposite thigh to deepen the twist. Keep spiraling your chest towards the ceiling. This is an easy stretch to create some tension in, so make sure you just keep relaxing. Go ahead, release the bind if you were in one. Roll up through the spine, stretch towards the ceiling, and place that hand down. To the other side, reaching the left hand up, threading under, reaching that right arm up, around our low back, and grabbing onto that opposite thigh, spiraling our chest towards the ceiling. Good. Release the bind here. Rolling up, stretching the arm towards the ceiling and replacing. Now let's go back and push back into the child's pose, reaching the hands forward. Then reach that chest towards the floor. Reaching those hands forward. Forehead to the floor. And just relax as much as you can, sending those hips back. Really taking the opportunity here. Fully expand through the ribs with our inhales. And release with our exhales. Good. Go ahead and walk our hands over to the right. Doing a nice deep stretch through the left side of our body. Checking in with your shoulders, make sure that they're far away from the ears. Maintaining a long neck. And walk it back center. Over to the other side. Making sure you're finding an even balance between lengthening and releasing. Not putting too much strain on the body, but just enough effort where you're going to get some results here. And walking back center, go ahead and roll up through the spine, coming to a nice kneeling position here. We're just gonna take some nice lateral stretches now, yeah? So go ahead, we're just gonna take our left arm up and over, coming either onto the palm of our hand or onto our forearm, making sure that our sits bones are staying down and connected to our heels, yeah? So don't let your heels come, or don't let your hips come up off those heels, but stay nice and rooted and connected. So if that means you have to stay here, that's totally fine. So reaching up and over and stretching. And coming back up. Other side, up and over. And coming up, other side. Big breath in and release. Pushing up, inhale, and other side. Big inhale, exhale, release. Inhale, coming up. Good, so let's go ahead and take some around the world. We'll go up and over, middle, side, come back up, reverse, whole shebang, yeah? So a few passes of that, we go coming up and over, really reaching as far side, moving through the corners of the room, through the middle, other corner side, and coming up. And reverse, side, center, side, and up. Again, side, and center, and side. Coming up again to the side, and center, side. Coming up one more time to the side, and center, side. Coming up last time. Nice and even. Good. Go ahead and tuck back those toes, coming back into a downward facing dog. And just take a moment here to tread through those feet. Like finding the length behind those legs. And finding a moment of stillness whenever you're ready. Really sending those heels down and those sits bones up. Good. And gently just shooting that up stage leg towards the ceiling. Taking a few ankle circles here. And get back down. And switch down stage leg. Or I guess this is actually up stage leg. Whoops. Towards the ceiling. Ankle circles. And bring it back down. Again, down stage leg. Ankle circles. And go ahead and let that hip fall open. Rotate those hips. And just taking a few more ankle circles here. Lengthening. And switching. Coming up. Ankle circles. Letting that hip fall open. Ankle circles here. And coming back to downward facing dog. Treading through those feet. Sending those heels down, sits bones to the ceiling. Now let's go ahead, sending our downstage leg up again, and coming through into low lunge. Taking a second here to get settled in. And on your own timing, let's go ahead and move through some cat-cow lunges, yeah? As usual, if you need to bend your knee a little bit during that cow lunge, that's totally fine. So just on your own timing, moving through those positions for cow and cat. A couple times here. Waking up the front of that hip and the back of the leg. Back. And coming back into our low lunge. Again, taking a moment here to settle in. Whenever you're ready, drop that back knee, untuck those toes, and walk up into a nice 90-90 position here. And then whenever you're ready, go ahead and lean forward slightly with that pelvis to get a nice stretch and opening through the front of that hip. Making sure we maintain good posture here and nice even breathing. Couple more breaths here. Making sure we're not tensing in the front of that hip, but we're letting it release. And pushing back into a nice runner's lunge or stretch. Yeah, so you just bend back in those hips, lengthen the front leg. We got a nice backdrop here for my leggings. So you can see what's going on. And then just make sure we've got a nice flat back and long chest here to get a nice stretch to the back of that leg. Again, really important that we don't curve in the back here. That totally takes away the stretch from behind this leg. You really want to lengthen out. Again, this is another instance of that oppositional energy. I've got energy flowing through this heel and through my hip here. And I stay out of the line. I want to think of two ends being pulled. So I get a nice, even stretch here. Also, make sure we don't hike up this hip. Yeah, making sure our hips are nice and even. Our headlights are squared to the front. And whenever you're ready, let's go ahead and release over into this stretch. Again, making sure our hips are staying square. We're just releasing to get the deepest stretch out of this that we can. Trying to keep this foot flexed. Couple more breaths here. And slowly rolling up, gently moving forward. Let's walk our foot inwards so we can move into a nice pigeon pose. Now, so the goal is to have a nice 90-degree angle here with the leg. However, if that's too deep of a stretch, you can always walk the heel in towards the pelvis to lighten it up a bit. Yeah? So find a comfortable position for you. And then we're just going to go ahead and lower into a deeper stretch. Now, if being up here is where you're at for the evening, as always, that's totally fine. But try to release into the lowest point that you can to get the deepest stretch. Couple more breaths here. Again, in this stretch, we want to try to keep that length through the back here, yeah? So, as always, if we end up stretching like this, we don't get much of a stretch anywhere. So, it's important to keep that length. So here, we're talking again about that oppositional energy. I feel it out through my fingertips, or through the crown of my head, and through the back toes here. I'm currently almost under my sofa. Gently rolling up through the spine. Taking our back leg to an attitude position here. Got a nice double bent leg going on. We're going to sweep around and into a quad stretch here. So again, same thing, different levels here. We have palms, forearms, or all the way onto the back. Wherever you're at, it's fine. And just get comfortable in this position and a nice stretch to the quad. I talked about this last class, is I found a new little trick for getting even deeper stretch here if you need one. So we have our stretch through this hip and quad. With our opposite leg, you can try to pull it in closer towards the chest to deepen the stretch in that working leg. Be really gentle here if you're trying it for the first time. You definitely cannot go as far as you think you might be able to. I'm fairly flexible, and this is about as far as I can get my knee to my chest. Again, wherever you're at, taking a nice, big, deep breath and exhaling any tension. And gently releasing your leg if you were holding on to it, making your way up and meeting me back in a nice downward facing dog, treading through those feet, noticing if there's any differences in the legs. And let's go ahead, shoot that upstage leg towards the ceiling and bring it through into a low lunge. So now we're starting with the opposite side. So take a moment here to settle in, take stock. For me, this is always the more difficult side to stretch. And let's go ahead and move through some cat-cows here. I get a couple of snap, crackle, pops if anyone just hurt my knee. At your own pace. And returning back to our low lunge. And go ahead, drop that back knee, untuck those toes, walk or roll up to our 90 degree lunge here. And then go ahead, press forward with that pelvis to open up through the front of this hip. Again, really important here to keep our hips square. We don't want to open. Yeah, because otherwise we're not getting a proper stretch. But staying nice and square, head legs are pointing forward, and we're reaching forward. Nice soft focus here. Don't need to be too intense. The opposite of what this stretch feels like. If you're really feeling this stretch intensely, you might even be going into the psoas. So a few of us might be feeling it connecting to our low backs. That's totally normal. Couple more breaths here. And gently send those hips back, straighten that front leg, and coming into our runner's lunge or stretch. I've been talking with some of my students lately about how I never had to stretch before college. Never. Never once did I need to stretch. And now I feel like I need to stretch every day, all day, to feel even close to how I used to feel flexibility-wise. So it's really important that we bring in a nice stretching regimen in with whatever workouts we're doing. I feel like a lot of the time, we focus in so much on the like workout, go, but it's really important to take in some time to stretch and roll out and do those nice recovery things for your body. Because believe me, you will catch up to you. Keeping length through that back. Also trying to keep the length behind this knee here. Don't let it bend or else it's going to take away from the stretch. And go ahead, release over that leg. Getting to the deepest point of the stretch. Couple more breaths here. And gently rolling up and forward, walking that foot across into our pigeon stretch, lengthening out that back leg, finding wherever is most comfortable for you here. And go ahead and melt or release over that front leg. Again, checking in the good idea of our exhales being just as deep and long as our inhales. Couple more breaths here. And go ahead rolling up through the spine. Taking our back leg to an attitude position, sweeping around onto either our palms, forearms, or leg all the way back. Getting comfortable in this position, being mindful of our knee on the working leg. And if you picked up your leg on the other side, go ahead and try to do the same on this side to get nice and even. But as always, if you're feeling a bit uneven, that's totally normal. Releasing any tension. Always the theme in my class. And go ahead and release that leg. Coming back up to a comfortable seat. And let's stretch those legs out in front of us and go ahead and just bounce those legs off the floor to release any tension that may have built up in those hips during that stretch. Good. And let's just take a nice gentle stretch over those legs. Flexing the feet, grabbing onto the balls of the feet. And think of pulling the chest down and forward towards the shins. Not just down and back, but down and forward. And then go ahead, take a nice release over those legs, point those toes. And rolling up, flexing those feet and resetting. And releasing over. And rolling up. Let's take a nice foot stretch now, yeah? So quick explanation. What we're going to do is we're just going to tuck those toes, come to a nice kneeling position, and sit back onto our heels, yeah? So something really important here when we do this stretch to think about is we don't want to think of sickling those feet, but we also don't want to think of winging the ankles, yeah? We need to think of a nice, even distribution of the weight throughout the bottoms of our feet, yeah? So just to make sure we keep our ankles nice and safe. So go ahead, standing up or kneeling actually. Nice and tall through the back of that head, crown of the head, and gently release back onto those heels. And taking a nice gentle release over those toes. You can either sit here for a second to release the feet, or you can just lean back and roll over those toes to stretch them the opposite way. Good. And rolling back over, tucking the toes, and sitting back one more time. Big breath in. Release, rocking back either to a nice seated position here or again over those toes to stretch the feet. And gently releasing forward, coming to a nice comfortable seat so we can close the class with some nice breathing. The nose, 3 breaths. And out through the mouth. Again, in through the nose. And out through the mouth. Last time, in through the nose. And out through the mouth. Awesome job tonight, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or evening or whatever time it is that you're watching this. Yeah, just have a great night. Breakout, thanks you so much for watching. As always, go check out our other content on our YouTube page for upcoming classes. Go check out our Instagram or Facebook to see those schedules. And I look forward to seeing you again here Tuesday, Thursdays. Stretch, dance or stretch, unwind. Have a good time. Say bye, Marty. He was better this time than he was last time. All right, bye, everyone.